Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special source for Rivka Bas Leah, Noam Ben Leah, and for Sarah Leah Bas Rivka, for Shandi Chana Bas Malka, and for Atida Edith Bas Ita Rachel, and for Avadiel Ben Atida Edith. We are going to be learning the Siyata D'Shmaya, a very, very important halacha in the Rambam in Hilchos Malachim, Perek Tes, halacha Yudalid. In order to fully understand the Rambam, we first have to learn the sugya. So first we're going to see the sugya in Sanhedrin B'Siyata D'Shmaya, in Makoro, and then, or Mikora, and then we are going to see the Rambam, and the Kashas on the Rambam. It says in the Gemara of Tana Rabbanan and Zayin and Ubeid V'Secha Sanhedrin Ish. The pasuk opening the section of the halachos about sexual transgressions could have just said Ish. Matamid Lomer Ish Ish. Why did it say double lashon? The Rabbos is Hakusim, that includes the Kusim, Shemuzharin Al Ha'arayis Ki Yisrael. The non-Jews are warned not to engage in Gilei Arayis, just like Jewish people. Hamehacha Nafka. Is this learned from here? Mehasam Nafka. It's learned from the pasuk said Adam Arishan. Le'mordze Gilei Arayis. The pasuk in Parashas Bereshis says the word Le'mor, and that the Gemara Darshans is referring to Gilei Arayis. So why do we need to come on to Ish Ish? We already have Le'mor. It's Abbas Elokim Adam Le'mor. Le'mor is Gilei Arayis. And it says the Gemara Hasan B'Arayis Ditu. There the pasuk answers B'nei Noach to their own Arayis, meaning to the married Bas Noach. They have a married Goyish woman. A man is not allowed to. Not her husband is not allowed to sleep with her. That's what we learn from there. The Hacha, whereas here, the Brisa quotes a pasuk, Asuring of Ben Noach, Arayis Didan, Arayis, meaning adultery with a Jewish woman. Therefore, you need both psukim. The Katani Seifa, and this is apparent, this is what we learn at the end of the Brisa. Bal Arayis Yisrael, if a Kusi man had relations with a Jewish woman, Nido Medina Yisrael, he's judged according to the dinim of the Jews. So we see that the Brisa refers to a Ben Noach being with a Jewish woman. So now the Gemara asks, for what law is a Ben Noach judged like a Jew when he commits adultery with a married Jewish woman? Our answers are the Brisa was needed only teach us 3 details about this judicial process. Ada, you need a congregation of judges. Edim, you need witnesses. Hasra, and warning. In other words, as Rashi explains, Tzarech Edim Edim V'Hasra Ki Yisrael, like a Jew. In other words, a guy in his court system only needs one judge. But here, if he's with a Jewish woman, he needs 3 judges. If it's a monetary case, if it's a case of nefashis, you need 23 judges. So we were talking about nefashis, 23 judges. Also, by a Jew, you need edim. You need 2 witnesses. A guy, 1 witness is enough. By a guy, 1 judge is enough. 1 witness is enough. For us, you need 23 judges and 2 witnesses, and hasra and forewarning. This applies only to Jewish courts and not Goyish courts. Frekti Gemara, Migra Gara, is adultery with a married Jewish woman less severe than adultery with a married Kusi woman? Says Rashi, Zeh haba l'ishes Yisrael me haba l'ishes Kusi. One who comes on a Jewish woman, has relations with a Jewish woman, is that less than somebody who has relations with a non-Jewish woman? He's killed with one aid, one dayan, and without hasra. In other words, what we're essentially doing is we're giving him a kula if he has beer with a Jewish woman. Like a guy wants to be Megala Arayas. He says, should I go with a Jewish woman or non-Jewish? He says, I'll go with the Jewish woman. Why? Because it's more calm. Why is it more calm? Because if I'm with the Goyish woman, they can execute me with one aid, they can execute me with one judge, and they can execute me without Asra. But if I'm with a Jewish woman, it's much harder to execute me. You need lots of judges, to aid him, and Asra. So being with a Jewish woman makes it a cooler for him. Could that be? And for the Gemara, Rabbi Yechanan said, Lo nitzach ela nara murasa. It was needed to refer to it than Noach, who had Arayas with a Nara HaMe'urasa, with a betrothed Nara. Dilididhu, Leslahu, Didaininan Hubadina Didan. In other words, we reject the teretz of that this Bryce is needed to teach us Eida Eidim and Hasra. And instead we say that it's coming to teach us that if a Ben Noach had Arayas with an Ara Murasa, 12 to 12.5-year-old girl who's betrothed, they don't have liability for cohabiting with such a woman in their laws, and therefore they're judged according to our laws. So in Noach, who has Bia, in Amurasa, gets skila, just like a Jew could get skila for that crime. So the Gemara has a kasha of Elchonon, Aval Eishes Ish, but if a Kusi, a guy, has a rayas with a fully married Jewish woman, is he going to be judged according to the dinim of Bnei Noach? Rashi, Aval Israel, Dina did who dainin lu? It's Mia. Said, could it, Rashi says the kasha, could it be that he's going to be judged according to the laws of Bnei Noach? Yochanan said that the case of Arayas with a Jew, for which a Kusi gets a Jewish punishment normally reserved for a Jew, is an Aramurasa. That implies that if he's with a fully married woman, he gets the execution that a Ben Noach normally gets. Medina Didhu. Tanya, but that can't be. Bar an Amurasa neither Beskila. If he comes to the Azvir with an Amurasa, then he's judged with Skila. That's given for a Jew. Al Eishes Ish, but if he cohabits with a Jewish woman, Jewish married woman, Nidon B'Chenech, he gets Chenech. V'i Bedina Didhu. Sayafu, if Husin are judged according to their Noachide laws, then he wouldn't get chenek, he wouldn't get strangulation, but rather he would get sayaf, he'd get sword. So how can you say that only by Naramu Rasa he's judged by our judgment? You see that even with an Eishes, even if he's with a Jewish Eishes, he also gets our punishment of chenek, and not his punishment of sayaf. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak said, Ma'ishes ishte katani. What type of married woman is that brisa referring to? It's referring to a case where she entered the chuppah, but did not yet cohabit with her husband. According to Jewish law, a person has a rayas with a woman who enters the chuppah, doesn't have bia. It's the same gilei rayas, it's the same chenek. The only difference would be when he has a rayas with an amurasa, then he gets skiva. But the lididhu, but Noachites, Bnei Noach, less lahu. They are not liable for cohabiting with an Eshes Ish, shenichnas al chuppah, v'lo nevala, that went into the chuppah and didn't have beer. The daininan lahu, so they're judged, the dina didan, according to our laws. The Tani Rabbi Chanina taught, they have liability for adultery with a woman who has already cohabited with her husband. But if she enters the chuppah but hasn't yet cohabited with her husband, they don't have liability for adultery under the Noachite system. Therefore, they get the Misah of the Jews. So now we have that they get Misah of the Jews when they're with a Nara Murasa, and they have Misah of the Jews when they are with a Nichnas el Chuppah v'loy nivala. Tanya Kavasei Rabbi Elchonon. Now we're going to bring a brisa to prove that a kusi is given the same punishment as a Jew, only if he committed adultery with a woman who hasn't yet been with her husband. But if a kusi committed adultery with a woman who already had relations with her husband, he gets the punishment of Bnei Noach. So this is a raya for Rabbi Yochanan in the earlier brisa, who said that the earlier brisa that said that a rayos of Jews refers to a woman married only according to Din Yisrael. Like we saw before, Lashon of Rabbi Yochanan. Ela Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Lo nitzuch ela namu rasa. And then the Gemara asked about Eshes Ish, and the Gemara said, Nichnas al chuppah v'lo nivala. So now we're going to bring a raya that it's referring only to somebody who's married only in the eyes of Jewish law. Let's see, Rashi. Tanya kabasei Rabbi Yochanan. The Amar Bala Rayis Yisrael de Katani Nidam Medina Yisrael. When we took an el b'nichnas al chuppah b'nar murasa, who less? So Rabbi Yochanan said that it's talking about nar murasa, and then we had another teretz that it was talking about nechas al chuppah nivala. Whatever doesn't apply to goyim, those laws don't apply to goyim, so they get the punishment for our rayis with us, our punishment. So we have a brisa like Rabbi Yochanan. Kol erva shebezdin sheYisrael me'misin ala, any erva for which a Jewish court executes a Jew, ben Noach musar ala. And ben Noach is also warned about cohabiting with her. Ein bezdin shel Yisrael me'misin ala, ben Noach musar ala. But if a Jewish court doesn't execute the Jew, then Goy is not musar. Goy is not warned against it. Divrei Rebbe Meir. That's the sheet of Rebbe Meir. So who's this talking about? It's talking about one sister of his father and mother, wife of his brother, wife of his father's brother, sister of his wife. So for a Jew, it's kares. But for there's no Misah, Misah is based in. So then the guy will not be warned about these. No, there are many arayas that a Jewish court doesn't execute a Jew, but then Ben Noach is warned against them. according to the Chachamim, all arayis in the Torah, and the Torah talks about arayis asuros, even those that are karetz, are asur to a ben Noach. And that's what they learn from Ishish. So now we're going to get to proving Rabbi Yochanan correct. Bal arayis Yisrael, if a kusi has relations with a married Jewish woman, nidon kid b'dinei Yisrael, bal arayis ben Noach, nidon kid b'dinei ben Noach. He's with a Jewish woman, he's judged according to Jewish law. With a Goyish woman, he's judged according to Goyish law. And the only difference we have is that of Nara Amurasa. So you see, this Brisa is like Rabbi Yochanan. The only difference is Nara Amurasa, that when they're with the Nara Amurasa, when a Ben Noach is with the Nara Amurasa, he receives the punishment that a Jew would receive. Now, when I ask the obvious question, what about the second teretz of the Gemara, where they also don't have marriage like we do? They also don't have an isser like as we do. Just like we said, that a guy gets the Jewish punishment for Namurasa, we should also say the guy gets the Jewish punishment for Nechel. And just the Gemara, Tana the Menashe, who this Tana follows the view of the Tana of the Beis Medrash of Menashe, Amram Misah Mur Levnei Noach Enu Ela B'Chenek, Idi Vidi Chenek, Kol Misah Mur Levnei Noach Enu Ela Chenek, Idi Vidi Cheneku. He says that when B'nei Noach get Misah, you know what Misah they get? They only get, B'nei Noach don't get Sayif. They get Chenek. And there you get Chenek for both. According to Tana D'Bei Menashe, whenever a Ben Noach gets Misah, it's not Sayif, it's Chenek. So, when a Ben Noach is with a woman who was Nichnas Al Chuppah V'lo Nivala, what would his punishment be? His punishment would be Chenek. You can't say that he's getting a different punishment than a Ben Noach. The Brisa says that Val Arayis Yisrael Nidon B'dinei Yisrael, Arayis B'nei Noach Nidon B'dinei Noach. For Arayis Yisrael you get the law of a Jew, and for Arayis B'nei Ben Noach you get the laws of a Ben Noach. And we said that the only difference is Nara Muraz. So the Gemara says, I'll give you another difference. He gets a Jewish punishment, not a Ben Noach punishment. Because a Ben Noach punishment is Chenek, and a Jewish punishment, a Ben Noach punishment is Sayif, and a Jewish punishment for Nichas al Chuppah V'lo Nivala is Chenek. So it turns out then that a Ben Noach should be receiving Chenek. With a Ben Noach who receives Chenek is receiving a Jewish punishment and not a non-Jewish punishment. The Teretz of the Gemara is, no. This is according to Tana D'Bei Menashe, that all Goyim receive Chenek. So when he gets Chenek for being with a Jewish woman who's Nichas Al Chuppah V'lo Nivala, he's receiving the Jewish punishment. Ad kan sigis ha-Gemara b'siyanta d'shmaya. The Rambam, in the 9th parak of Hilchos Malachim, Halacha Yud Daled, paskins, like this Gemara that we mentioned at the beginning of the Sugya. It says that a Ben Noach is Nidon, the Eid Echad, the Dayan Echad, and without Hasra. So we are going to now ask a series of questions that we learned from Hagona Gadol of David Yitzchak Manzatzal, Teres Chaim and Sanhedrin, in Zayin Amud Beis and the Sugya, and the Marapanim Yerushalmi, Perak Aleph to Kedushin, Halacha Aleph. And also, this is discussed by Rabbi Zalman Meltz in the Even Ezel, Perak Ches Mehilchos Niskei Mammon Halacha Yud Beis, right? That this is only, that Nidon Be'erech or B'dainech, etc., is only when he is Chayav B'dinei B'nei Noach. When does the Rambam say that a guy is judged with one witness and one judge without Asra? It's only when he's Chayav B'dinei B'nei Noach. Aval, if he's Baal Nara Mu'urasa, he has Bia with a Nara Mu'urasa, we see in the Gemara, the Daf Zayin Amud Beis that we just learned, that they get judged according to our judgment. So it's not only that they get judged by our judgment, that they get skila, but the same applies, that they require Edim and Hasra to be Yisrael. That's the Chiddush of the Toras Chaim and others, that not only does a guy get skila when he's in Nara Murasa, but he also requires Edim and Hasra. And this is against the Shita of Rashi. Rashi in Dibur Maskul Lidithu writes at the end, Elanido b'skila, val ein tzarech Edim Edim Hasra, val gormei rayas titu. But we can't make it any less than there are rayas. So you don't need Edim and Hasra. You don't want to be Mako. That was the most probably. You can't be more Mako when you're a Jewish woman. So Rashi says, in Achinami, you're not more Mako. You don't need Edim and Hasra, but he does get skila. But others write no. When he's with an Arab Murasa, you go all the way with Jewish law. Not only does he get skila, but you also need Edim and Hasra. You also need 23 judges, 2 witnesses, and Hasra. And it's not like Rashi. And the Yad Ramah and the Ran, they all hold that you don't need Edim and Hasra. The Kedas of Toras Chaim and others, it's Kedas Rabbeinu Yonah. They're in the Sugya that a guy who's with an Nara Murasa does not require Edim and Hasra. That a guy who's with an Nara Murasa requires Edim and Hasra. Rashi holds that a guy doesn't require Edim and Hasra. When he's with an Nara Murasa, he just gets skila. You don't need 2 witnesses, just one judge, etc. And Toras Chaim writes, and Rabbeinu Yonah writes, that you require Edim and Hasra. And it's Mefurish in the Yerushalmi in Kedushin Perak Aleph, Halacha Aleph. That you go with Jews all the way, not only skila, but also Edim and Hasra. And Toras Chaim is Medayik with Rambam earlier in Halacha Zayin, that it says Niskal Akadina Yisrael. The Rambam writes that an Aram Urasa, and if a guy is with an Aram Urasa, he gets skila kedina Yisrael. Says the Rambam, to read his lashon. Ein ben Noach chai b'leishes chaver ad sheyavu alea b'tidarka acha sheniva la lebayla. So he's only chayiv if she had beer with her husband. He has regular beer with her, this ben Noach. Aval murasa shenitus alachupa. Lo nivla ein chayavin alea. But if she's an Arab murasa, or she was nichnas alachupa and didn't have bia, then he's not chayiv. She never vibulas ba, but medvar mamurim. She has to have bia. But what is this talking about? Only a ben Noach shabar ben Noach. Aval akum abal Yisraelis ben kedarka ben shlo kedarka chayiv. But a guy who has beer with Israelis, whether it's kedarka shlo kedarka is chayiv. Imais an Arab murasa. Niskal aleha b'dinei Yisrael. If she's an Aram Murasa, then he gets skila with her Kedina Yisrael. Ba le'achar shenichasa l'chuppah v'lo nivala, harei ze b'chenek, Kedina Yisrael. He had bia with her. After she went to the chuppah without bia, he gets chenek, Kedina Yisrael. So the Torah's Chaim is b'daik from the Rambam that chenek and that skila are Kedina Yisrael. What do you mean Kedina Yisrael? Not just that the chenek and the skila itself are punishments given to Yisrael, but also Eida Eidim and Hasra di Yisrael. It's b'daik from the Rambam that you need Eida Eidim and Hasra, not like Rashi. Because it's Kedina Yisrael all across the board. Look in Sanhedrin in the Sefer Yefei Naim who discusses this. Yad Raman Sanhedrin, and the Ran is also Maramis to this, asks in the Kasha of the Gemara, from Zayin and Beis, and the Brisa that says, Baal Eishis Yisrael, Nidon B'dinei Yisrael, V'anu Ein Lanu, Ela Nara Hamurasa. So the Gemara asks, why only Nara Hamurasa? You get Dinei Yisrael, also Nichas Al Chuppah V'lo Nivala. And the Gemara's teretz is that we're referring to Tana Devei. This is according to the sheet of Tana Devei Menashe. Shekol Misas B'nei Noach is B'chenek. So only in Aram Arasa there's going to be a difference, but not Nechas Al Chuppah V'lo Nivala. Because Nechas Al Chuppah V'lo Nivala, she's going to get chenek, just like Yisrael gets chenek. Now, according to the opinion of the Rambam, you need Eida Eidim and Hasra Kedina Yisrael. So it is Nidam Kedina Yisrael. And if a Jewish person does it, you need Eida Eidim and Hasra. And if a Ben Noach would normally have bia with a bas Noach, there wouldn't be Eida Eidim and Hasra. But if he has bia with a woman who's nichnas al v'chuppah v'lo nivala, you would require Eida Eidim and Hasra Kedina Yisrael. So that's considered being Nidon B'dina Yisrael. So how is this considered, according to the Gemara, Nidon B'dina B'nei Noach? The only time you get Dina Yisrael is Na'amur Rasa. It's not true according to the Rambam. Because even if he's with Yisraelis, it's also going to be Kedina Yisrael, not because of the chenek according to Tana B'ei Menashe. But Tana B'ei Menashe has to admit that Eida Eidim and Hasra you normally don't have for a Ben Noach. Here, according to the Rambam, you do. So why does the Gemara say that it's Kedina Yisrael when it's not? Kedina Yisrael would be. How does the Gemara say that the only difference is when he's with an Aram Rasa? The only time it's Kedina Yisrael, the only difference between when Ben Noach is with a Bas Noach and with a Bas Yisrael is an Aram Rasa. It's not true. Because also, the Gemara asks about Nichas El Chuppah V'lo Nivala, so it says, no, it's the same punishment. You get chenek just like you get it for, like a Ben Noach gets chenek, so too, like a Ben Noach gets chenek when he's a Obegal Arayah, so too when he's with the Bas Yisrael Nivala and Nichas El Chuppah, you get chenek. Seder. But you can't say it's the same as Din B'nei Noach, because you need Eida Eidim and Hasra according to the Rambam. It's not Kedina B'nei Noach. U'be'ikra machlokas that we've been discussing, Rashi writes that we must be talking about Dinei B'nei Noach because when he has bia with an Eishes Ish, Yisrael, it can't be that migra gara. It can't be that you're making it easier. In other words, a ben Noach has to be judged b'dinei b'nei Noach because when he's with an Eishes Ish Yisrael, it can't be that it's easier. But if he's with a non-Jewish woman, then what do we say? We say that you don't need Eid Eidim Hasra. That he's with a Jewish woman, you do need Eid Eidim Hasra. And therefore it's harder to kill him? No. Therefore Rashi says that it must be that we're talking about Dinei B'nei Noach. And since we're talking about Dinei B'nei Noach, you don't need Eid Eidim Hasra, and it's not Migra Gara, it's no less. Same way you kill him for a Ben Noach, kill him for Yisrael. Without Eid Eidim and Hasra. And that goes with the Mahalach of the Gemara. Because the Gemara says, how can it be that you don't need Eid Eidim and Hasra? What, Migra Gara? Migra Gara? So the Gemara says, no, we're talking about Nara Murasa. That's what it means, that a Ben Noach is judged like a Jew, that he gets skila like being with an Nara Murasa. But it can't be that you don't need Eidim. It can't be that you require Eidim and Hasra for being with an Nara Murasa, because then Migra Gara then would be going easier on him. For being with a nation Yisrael, requiring more to execute him, that can't be. And Rabbeinu Yonah says that it's not true. Yesh lebal din lachlo. That since he's not chayav mitzad b'nei Noach, that don't have a concept of nara murasa, he's only chayav mitzad Yisrael. So you need kol dinei Yisrael. It's just something very logical. This is machlokas we have. Do you need Eid Eidim and Hasra? Or do you not need Eid Eidim and Hasra? When the Ben Noach is with an Nara Murasa. So Rashi says it can't be that Migra Gara, so you don't need Eid Eidim and Hasra. Rabbeinu Yonah says, why not? Since now, since Goyim don't have a concept of Nara Murasa, it's only a Jewish concept. So therefore, it's completely transferred to the Jewish legal procedure. And you would need Eid Eidim and Hasra. Because now you're in Nara Murasa, you're in a different domain. You're in the domain completely of Dinei Yisrael. So of course you need Eid Eidim and Hasra. Rashi says you don't need Eid Eidim and Hasra. So you have to understand the svar of the machlokas between Rabbeinu Yonah and Rashi. So the Rambam. So the Rambam also holds according to the Torah's time. When a Ben Noach was with a Nara Murasa, you need Eid Eidim and Hasra. Not only that, we saw Yerushalmi, Perak Aleph Halach Aleph. You require a Kol Ki Yisrael. And Rashi has a svara. Rashi is a svara of Migra Gara. That it can't be that a Ben Noach is less. That it's easier for a Ben Noach when he's with a Jewish woman. It's lighter, we're lighter on him. We're less strict with him. When he's with a Jewish woman than a Goyish woman. It's a very nice svara, but it's against the Yerushalmi. What's Rashi going to do with the Yerushalmi? The Yerushalmi says, not like this svara. Rashi doesn't learn from the Hechrech of the Bavli. From the Bavli, you see that it has to be like that. The Yad Ramah and the Ran learn from the Hechrech of the Bavli. So therefore, they could say the Bavli is arguing with the Yerushalmi. Again, they ask from the Gemara. The Gemara says that Baal Eishes Yisrael Nido Medina Yisrael V'ano Ein Lanu Nara Murasa. That if a person's with a Jewish, a guy is with a Jewish woman, he gets a Jewish, he's judged by Jewish law, and that's only talking about an Nara Murasa. That's the only difference. The Gemara asks, why don't we also mention in the Brayso Nechas Chuppah V'lo Nivala? And the Gemara answers that it's according to Tana Devei Menashe, that all Misas B'nei Noach is B'chenek. And therefore, the guy is going to get chenek. Just like Yisrael gets chenek. It says, ask the Yad Ramah, but according to the Rambam, there's still a difference. You still can have Baal Eishes Yisrael, Nidon B'dinei Yisrael, not B'dinei B'nei Noach. In what way? That you need Eida, Eidim, and Hasra. It's not only Nara Murasa, it's also Nechas Al Chuppah V'lo Nivala. Nechas Al Chuppah V'lo Nivala, according to the Rambam, is going to be Kedinei Yisrael. Because you require Eida, Eidim, and Hasra. And that's Kedinei Yisrael. So that's the Kasha in the Rambam. So it must be, and how's the Gemara holding? The Gemara is holding that Nechas Al Chuppah V'lo Nivala, you don't need Eida, Eidim, and Hasra. And also Nara Murasa, you don't need Eida, Eidim, and Hasra. So Nara Murasa is still different because there you're getting Skila and B'nei Noach. You're not. But then Noach is with a betrothed woman, meaning a betrothed Bas Noach. And there's no Skila, but only with a Jewish one. So that's the difference. That's when he gets the Jewish punishment. But when he's with, the Bavli will hold according to Yad Ramah, Nichas Al Chuppah V'lo Nivala, he's going to be getting completely the Jewish punishment. What's that? Chenek. But anyway, it's like Tana Devei Menashe, that Ben Noach normally gets chenek. But our Gemara is holding, it's going to be without Eida, Eidim, and Hasra. So there's going to be no difference now. You can't say it's Kedinei Yisrael. You can't say it's Kedinei Yisrael. Because Kedinei Yisrael, you need Eida, Eidim, and Hasra. For Ben Noach, you don't. That must be how the Gemara is holding. Because the Gemara says the only time he's like Yisrael is by Nara Murasa. What about Nechas Al Chuppah V'lo Nivala? Even if you hold Chenek, still there's a difference. Because if Ben Noach doesn't require, because if Ben Noach the Gemara is holding. The Gemara, if you learn like the Rambam, that a Ben Noach requires Eida, Eidim, and Hasra, and there's a difference. For Ben Noach, there's no Eida, Eidim, and Hasra. They don't have Eida, Eidim, and Hasra, and for a Jew there is. The Gemara doesn't say that he judged Kedinei Yisrael. So it must be, the Gemara learns that if an Eishes Yisrael is Baal Isha, that if a Ben Noach has Bia with an Eishes Yisrael, then we execute him without Eida, Eidim, and Hasra. And therefore he gets Dinei Noach, Dinei B'nei Noach. You don't give him Dinei Yisrael. The only time you give him Dinei Yisrael is B'nara Murasa. But the Eishes Yisrael Shenivala V'lo Nechas Al Chuppah, you give him a complete Din Ben Noach. What's that? Well, Chenek, because anyway he's getting Chenek. And also, without Eida, Eidim, and Hasra. Therefore, the only difference is that he's going to be getting a din Yisrael and not din ben Noach for a ben Noach. The only time he's getting only a din Yisrael is by Nar Murasa. But by Nechas al Chuppah V'lo Nivala, he's getting a din ben Noach. Chenek, according to Tanei Menashe, that's his din anyway. And also it's a din ben Noach because you don't require Eid Eidim and Hasra. So the Gemara works well according to that sheet, according to the Yad Ramah, the way he's learning. So you could say the Babli is arguing with the Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi holds that Ben Noach gets Dinei Yisrael, he needs Eid Eidim and Hasra. The Babli holds that he doesn't need Eid Eidim and Hasra. That's Me'achrei Chasugim. According to Rashi, it's just Misvara. How does Rashi use the Svara to argue with the Yerushalmi? Yerushalmi says that a Ben Noach requires Eid Eidim and Hasra, even when he's with a Jewish woman. And Rashi says he doesn't. Pella, just al pi svara. Yerushalmi, you find not like this. Again, the Yad Ramah is learning from the Chayach of the Sugya. The Babli is arguing with the Yerushalmi. The Babli holds that you don't require Eid Eidim and Hasra. And therefore, the only time he goes like Dinei Yisrael is Ben Noach is going to be when he's with an Arab Marasi and he's going to get skila. But when he's with Nation Yisrael, Shenichas al Chuppah V'lo Nivala, he's going to get a complete Din Noach. No Eid Eidim and Hasra. Unlike a Jew. They require Eid Eidim and Hasra. That's the Bavli. Yerushalmi holds that he does require Eid Eidim and Hasra. It's Ben Noach. And Rashi holds Misvar not like that. How does Rashi argue Misvar in the Yerushalmi? Not Me'achrei Bavli. Hope that's clear. In the Torah and Choshen Mishpat and Siman Tav Ches, what the Gemara says in Baba Kama Daf Tesvav, that it says there in the Mishnah Yudalat Amid Beis Chiyuv Nezikin B'Bnei Bris, and that excludes the Eidus of a Goy, and the Reed writes that it's coming to be Memayet Afilu Shor Shel Akum Shenagach L'Shor Yisrael Ein Danim Osa Ela Be'edim Sheirim. So if an axe of a goy gores the axe of a Jew, what judgment? How do you judge him? Only with Eidim Sheirim. You need Eidim Sheirim. Even though a guy, by a guy's judgment, like Dinei B'nei Noach, you don't need Eidim Sheirim. Just one aid is enough. But if he's no Geach Shorsha Yisrael, the relearns on that Gemara and Daf Tezvav, that it's come to be Mamayit, Shor Shel Akum, Shenagach, Shor Yisrael, that you don't judge him by the din of a Ben Noach. You judge him by the din of a Yisrael. And what's the din of a Yisrael? You need Eidim Sheirim. So others learn the Gemara there differently. The relearns that that's what it's coming to tell you. That Shor Shel Akum, Shenagach, Shor Yisrael, he gets judged by Eidim Sheirim, and then afterwards the Tur brings the Lashon of the Rambam. You might think that the Gemara is telling you only B'nai Bris, only members of the covenant can testify, because you might think that the only people around in the Arvas HaSusim, around to hang out with the horses, are non-Jews. So in Mela, you don't need the kosher Eidim. So Kamash Malan, that you do need kosher Eidim. And the Prisha writes on the Torah that the Torah is Mesupik, if the Rambam is arguing with the Ri, or he agrees with the Ri. In other words, non-Jewish Eidim aren't kosher, that we know the Rambam holds. But is the Rambam arguing with the Ri? And the Rambam holds Shor Shel Akum Shenagach Shor Yisrael. He doesn't need Eidim Sherim? Or is he agreeing with the Ri? That Shor Shel Akum Shenagach Shor Yisrael, you do need Eidim Sherim. Even Ezel, Perakhes Minis Kemam and Halacha Yud Beis, he writes that even though normally we paskin like Rashi, that Rashi holds that by a goy you need proper witnesses. You don't need proper witnesses. You don't need Eid Eidim and Hasra. That's Shittas Rashi. However, the Tviyas Mamon of a Yisrael Mibnei Noach, if it's a monetary case that a Jew wants to extract money from a Ben Noach, there, Rashi would hold that you need Eidus Kshera. And it's not connected to the Chiyuv Misah of an Aveira of a Ben Noach. What's in it? When it's an Aveira of a Ben Noach and a Chiyuv Misah, says the Ibn Ezel, there Rashi holds that you don't need Eid Eidim and Hasra. Where it's a Tviyas Mamon of a Yisrael mi Ben Noach, there you need proper Eidim. So Rashi is Modeh. That even though normally he holds that for Ben Noach, for Chiyuv Misah, you don't need Eid Eidim and Hasra, but in Tviyas Mamon you do. So according to this, if Rashi agrees in the case of Tviyas Mamon that you do need kosher Eidim, Kal v'chomer, that the Rambam, who holds that also an Nar Murasa, that since you're Chayav al Pidina Yisrael, you require proper Eidim, so Vada he would agree with Nezikin. Madach Rashi, who says that when it comes to Nar Murasa, you don't need proper witnesses, but by Nezikin he holds you do need proper witnesses. You have a Tvi of Yisrael from a Ben Noach. So Anachas Kam V'Kam of the Rambam, who holds that by a Chiyuv Misah, you do need proper witnesses. Certainly by a Tviyas Mamon he will hold that you do need proper witnesses. So Ibazoi, how is the Tur Mesupik if the Rambam requires kosher witnesses when there's a Tviyas Mamon of a Jew from a Goy? Pasha that the Rambam holds you need kosher witnesses. That's the Kash of the Ibn Ezel. Ibn Ezel says, what's the Torah is Mesupik, is the Rambam holds you need kosher witnesses in the case of a monetary claim. Rashi holds you need kosher witnesses, and by Misah he doesn't. Certainly the Rambam holds by Misah you do require kosher witnesses. Certainly he's going to hold that here you require kosher witnesses. So this is very difficult to understand the suffix of the Torah. Mitzat Sheni, look in the Shar Mishpat and Choshen Mishpat, Siman Tov Ches, Siv Katan Aleph. It's Tameya. How you require two kosher Eidim. We learn in the Gemara in Bava Kama Daf Kuf Yotesem and Aleph, Legabe Masur. Mutter la'abed mamono. Shlo yehe mamono chama migufo. One's allowed to get rid of his money because we know the din of a masur is guf. So his money is not going to be more chaver than his guf. So if we're if nerag al yidei echad pasul, if a guy is nerag al yidei echad pasul, so how can you say They were not motzi mammon with an edus of eid echad pasuk. What are we saying? We're saying that according to the Rambam, it's pashut that you need eidim ksherim to be motzi mammon from this guy, but it can't be. If by gufo the guy is nerag be'eid echad pasuk, so certainly mamona. It's enough eid echad pasuk. On one hand, we prove that it's pashut that according to the Rambam, you can be motzi mamona be'eid echad pasuk. On one hand, we prove that according to the Rambam, it's pashut that you need two proper witnesses. To be motzi mammon from the guy. Because we learned that kal v'chomer. And we said if, according to Rashi, that by Misah you don't require Eidim, and by Mammon you do, certainly according to the Rambam, that by Misah you do require Eidim, kosher Eidim, so to by Mammon you're certainly going to require kosher Eidim. So I don't know what the suffix of the Torah was, what the sheet of the Rambam is. On the other hand, we have a Gemara in Bava Kama Kuf Yates that by a Masr, Lo Yehei Mamono Chamer Migufa. Mutter La'aved Mamono, you're allowed to destroy his money, because why should his money be more Chamer than his goof? So we can use the same Svar by Ben Noach, that if Gufo is enough if Gufo is enough with a Pasal 8, and we see that a Ben Noach, one could be Ma'abed Gufo, or the Pasal 8, Ben Noach is Nidon Be'ed Echad of a Dayan Echad. So if by an Eid Echad, you could be Ma'abed Gufo Be'ed Echad Pasal. So how can you say, by Mamono, you need two kosher Eidim? So why don't we prove from that the Rambam holds that by Mamona you need two kosher Eidim? The kal v'chomer from Rashi, but it can't be svara-wise, because if Gufo is enough one unkosher Eid, Mamona certainly. Ayin sham nishar mishpat choshem mishpat simin kafches yivchad nalef. So b'siyata d'shmaya we learned the sugya. We asked a few bam kashas in the sugya. And then, b'siyata d'shmaya, in the next shir, I hope, Hashem should give us the koach and the moach, we will blaze a new path in this sugya, and see the flows mitaris Hashem. Yisrael chalomod v'lamed lishma v'lasla kaimis kol divrei salma terasa b'yahava. Amen v'amen. Shalom shalom. See you next